Did you know that before Sung Jinwoo became the Shadow Monarch, there was only one person who truly cared if he lived or died? Most fans remember Lee Ju-hee as the B-rank healer who survived the double dungeon, but her story is much deeper than just being a survivor. She is the guardian angel that the anime and manhwa didn't fully explain. Today, we are diving into the hidden history of the girl who knew Jin-Woo before he became a god. In the anime, we see Joo-Hee and Jin-Woo as close friends, but it never explicitly details how they met. In the late novel, it's revealed that their bond was built on shared trauma. Long before the Carton-on Temple incident, Joo-Hee witnessed her entire party get slaughtered in a high-rank raid. This left her with severe PTSD, making her terrified of high-rank gates. Because of this, she intentionally chose to participate only in low-rank raids, despite being a talented B-rank healer. This is where she met Sung Jinwoo. While other hunters mocked him, Joo-Hee saw a reflection of her own struggle. She didn't just heal his wounds, she stayed in those weak dungeons specifically to act as his safety net. For years, she was the reason Jin-Woo made it home alive. Joo-Hee's PTSD wasn't just fear, it was a physical and mental paralysis. Every time she saw a dungeon, her body would literally freeze. Her trauma was a mental block that no amount of training could fix. She wasn't weak, she was a broken soldier. This is why after the double dungeon, she eventually made the painful choice to retire and move back to her hometown to find peace. However, her story doesn't end there. In the sequel series, Solo Leveling Ragnarok, Joo-Hee experiences the ultimate redemption. When Mana returned to Earth and the threat of the Itaram gods arrived, Joo-Hee underwent a second awakening. She didn't just return as a healer, she awakened as a powerful S-rank healer, famously known as the Saint of Busan. Even more shocking, despite the world being reset by the Cup of Reincarnation, Joo-Hee is one of the very few people who began to remember the original timeline. Through fragmented dreams, she remembered the man she once protected. She evolved from a girl who could barely stand in a dungeon to a divine beacon of hope for an entire city. She proved that even if the world resets, true bonds and the desire to protect are never truly forgotten. Whether you are a fan of her early days in the anime or her legendary status in Ragnarok, one thing is certain: Lee Ju-hee was the last piece of Jin-Woo's humanity, and in the end, she found her own strength to save the world in her own way. But she wasn't the only one who carried the title of saint. Did you know that in Solo Leveling, the most tragic death wasn't just a loss of life, but the destruction of a man's peace? Most fans remember Min Byung-gu as the S-rank healer who was brutally devoured during the Jeju Island Raid, but there is a much deeper layer to his story. He wasn't a warrior who lived for the thrill of the hunt. He was a pacifist who retired because he couldn't stand the sight of his friends dying in front of him. The seeds of this trauma were planted during the failed third Jeju Island Raid, where Byung-gu witnessed the horrific death of his close friend, Eun-suk. As a saint, he was forced to watch Eun-suk get torn apart while his healing magic remained powerless. This survivor's guilt is the real reason he walked away. He didn't just retire, he was trying to outrun the ghost of his fallen comrade. The final Jeju Island Raid was purely for his friends like Baek-yeon-ho, so they wouldn't face the Ant King alone. In the anime, we see the sheer helplessness of a healer caught in the path of Beru. It wasn't just a kill, it was a statement that even the saint could be broken. Even after death, when Sung Jinwoo extracted his shadow to save Cha-hae-in, Byung-gu remained a man of peace, and his shadow's final smile remains one of the most emotional frames in the story. However, many fans don't know what happened to him after the world was reset. When Jin-Woo used the Cup of Reincarnation, Byung-gu was finally given the chance to live a normal, peaceful life. He was reunited with his best friends, Eun-suk and Baek-yeon-ho. In this new timeline, they weren't soldiers or hunters. They were just three ordinary friends living ordinary lives, free from the horrors of the dungeons. But even in this peaceful world, fate was bittersweet. Both Min Byung-gu and Eun-suk passed away early due to natural illnesses, long before the mana ever returned to the world. They died in peace, in a hospital bed instead of a battlefield. This left Baek-yeon-ho as the lone survivor of their brotherhood, the only one who lived long enough to see the gates open once again and become a hunter for the second time. In the game, Solo Leveling Arise, Byung-gu is the premier S-rank support, a mechanical masterpiece of healing and buffs, but in the lore, he remains the conscience of a world gone mad. He wasn't just a healer, he was the sacrifice that allowed the Shadow Monarch to realize the weight of his own humanity. While Byung-gu was the saint of the past, Lee Ju-hee has risen as the saint of the future.